Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Media Access Awards Easterseals interview series. Today, we're talking to Lauren Lolo Spencer. Lolo was nominated for Spirit Awards for her very first movie role in Give Me Liberty. We love Lolo. Check her out. I love Give Me Liberty.
Oh,
Uh,
yay!
it's
I did too. I did too.
It's a fantastic film, and you did such an amazing job. So the first question is, what made you want to be an actor? Is that something you always thought about? If you can just tell us a little bit about the inspiration.
So, truthfully, my goal was to never be an actor. I've always appreciated film and TV. I've always loved actors and loved the industry, but it was never my goal to be in front of the camera because I don't know. I guess I just never thought that I could do it. So when I got asked the opportunity to be part of Give Me Liberty, it was more so about knowing the importance of the representation and knowing that our director, Kirill Mikanovsky, and our producer, Alice Austin, were so adamant about casting authentically that I was like, okay, this is a very, very unique opportunity. Although I've never acted before, never thought I could act, I was like, I'll take a chance and see how well I do. And so, and it was a lot of back and forth before we actually went into production. I mean, that's the nature of indie films. So we went back and forth for like 2 years, them just like kind of keeping me updated, learning more about the character. And then, right when it started to feel like it was going to go into production, that's when I started taking acting classes. So I was able to squeeze in like 3 or 4 classes before it was time to fly to Milwaukee.
So how did you get hooked up with the production? If you weren't thinking about being an actor, how did it come about?
So because I had a YouTube channel and was getting a lot of kind of like publicity from that, I ended up linking up with an agent, Gail Williamson, and I just was kind of like, joining the team, kind of like, well, people say this is kind of the next step, so let me just do it. And so they reached out to Gail, asking her, did she have any clients that were, younger Black women with disabilities, specifically a wheelchair user. And so Gail immediately reached out and was like, hey, there's this indie film, would you be interested? And I was like, well, if the shoe fits, then why not, So I was like, sure, I'll at least, audition. The worst they could say is no. But again, I never wanted to be an actress anyway, so it wasn't like I felt like my dream, was
Right.
on the line in a sense. So I kind of went into it like completely authentically and auditioned, and who knew this was gonna happen?
The rest is history, and she's nominated for Spirit Award, and
Like I never could have imagined that. Like that I didn't even think the film would end up getting done. I don't think any of us thought the film would get done just because it was so literally putting sticks and glue and rubber band together in order to make the film happen. I didn't learn until I started doing panels with Khalil and Alice that they were raising money as we were shooting the film. And so it was like, oh yeah, this movie's probably never going to come out. And then they asked me to come back for pickups, and they were like, yeah, we got into Sundance. And I was like, excuse me? So yeah, it's been amazing ever since.
Did you, growing up, do you remember seeing people on film or television that looked like you, that gave you some sense that maybe you could get into show business one way or another?
Not from the disability perspective. I definitely saw Black actresses who were like amazing and super passionate and who played very powerful roles, growing up. But I never saw any with a disability. But truthfully, growing up, because I was diagnosed with ALS when I was 14. So, as a teenager, I didn't ever really identify with my disability because everyone around me supported me and loved me like nothing had ever happened. So nothing really felt like it changed. So even if there probably was any level of representation, I didn't, I probably wouldn't have resonated it as me being able to identify with them. But definitely Black actresses all day long. It was like, oh my God, Janet Jackson. Oh my God, Angela Bassett. Oh my God,